Hello and welcome to round 3, race 2. This is a random grid start and Ben's on pole. Let's jump trackside and get to it. Okay, here we go, waiting for lights out. And off they go. There's a couple really fast starts then. Oh, look at Tom on the outside, smashing all the signs up as he goes through. 4 wide going into the first corner. Looks like a bit of contact between Tom and Steve there, and oh, Manx has bumped into me as well. Off he goes. Okay, so coming down the hill, everyone's quite bunched up at the moment. Doesn't seem to be anything too major. Oh, Gary's gone wide there. We're on board with Keith at the moment. A bit of contact there between Gary and myself. Back on now, bit of contact again between me and Ollie there, but nothing too major, just a little door-to-door stuff. Oh, and that looks like Jay's had a spin in the background. Let's have a look at this then. So this is from Jay's perspective. Oh, he has slight contact with Keith, and then yeah, just gets clipped by Gary there. That looked nasty. Oh, and Manx has also come off. And let's see that. We've got Tom's perspective here. So Manx tries squeezing through. And just gets caught out slightly and loses control and goes off, and there's Gary up there. Oh, and Jackson's gone as well. Okay, so back with the front runners now. We've got Ben in first, we've got Andy in second, Phil's managed to make it up to third, and Dan's done a good job of getting up to fourth, but I have noticed that there's stewards investigating a jump start between Dan, Tom and Andy, so it'll be interesting to see what the outcome of that is. This is the replay for the start now. Yeah, you can see there that Dan and Tom clearly got a jump on everybody else. So I'd imagine they'll be getting a time penalty. You can't see Andy from that replay, but you see the contact there between Tom and Steve, and then contact between me and Manx, and then yeah, there's like a Moses effect for Dan, and he goes straight up into fifth as he comes to the top of the hill. So yeah, they've been given a 20-second time penalty, which is now showing up underneath the timing screen. Okay, so back with the action now. We've got Phil and Ollie fighting for fifth. Ollie looks to be making a move up the inside. Oh, Phil's gone wide and loses it. He's up on the grass. Oh, hopefully he hasn't got too much damage from that little bit of contact with the wall there. So he's now dropped to 8th. Oh, and it looks like Gary's going to take advantage and move up into 8th. Demoting Phil down to 9th. Action-packed couple laps going on here. We've got Manx making a move on Jackson. He's still going to be recovering from his accident with me in the first corner. Jay's at the back now, but he's also making it past Jackson by the looks of it. Okay, so we've got Manx and Frankie coming up to the chicane. Manx looks very late on the brakes there, goes around the outside, lovely move. We've got Keith and Tom battling here for 6th, and Tom looks like he's made it up the inside there as they go to the top of the hill. Yep, he's through. Keith's going to be chasing after him now, trying to get that position back. Manx, Steve, Gary and Jay all coming down the hill here. This is on board with Jay. He's got some serious speed coming down there. Make a move up the inside of Gary, side by side. Jay bailed out. Gary's carried on. Jay going to make another move. Thought about it. Gary's gone a little bit wide, cuts back to the racing line. Oh, it's close between the two of them. Jay's going to try around the outside, thinks better of it. He's going to make a move into the chicane. They're side by side. Both of them are quite late on the brakes there. Jay just tucks in. Nice. It's very good driving from the pair, to be fair. That was good. Okay, so Gary's now down in 12th. Okay, so jumping back to the front, we've got Ben and Dan fighting for first. There's only 0.1 between the two of them, it's so close. Remember as well, Dan's got that 20-second time penalty, so he's effectively in like 10th position at the moment. So Ben's got this quite comfortably at the moment, providing he holds it all together. And then he's got, yeah, Andy as well in third. He's also on a time penalty, so second place trackside at the moment would be myself. We've still got another 15 minutes left, 20 minutes sorry, left of the race, so there's plenty of time for anything to happen. So just starting lap 6 now. Dan goes ultra wide on that line that he enjoys. They're so close, these two. Dan is closing that gap when you look at the splits. Great racing between these two here. Okay, is Dan going to try and make a move? Oh, it looks like Ben's gone a bit wide. Yeah, he's on the gravel. So that's enabled Dan to go straight through. Or is he going to filter back in? Oh, there goes Andy. There's myself. Oh, he slots in just in front of Ollie there. Oh, and he's lost it again, and he's taken Ollie with him. And there goes Tom. Oh, Tom got collected as well. Oh, that's such a shame. That's going to be damage for all three of those, no doubt. And Keith just capitalises on that and just rolls through. You've got Ollie coming back on track in the background. Here comes Ben now. So Ben's lost out. He's gone from 1st to 6th in 2 corners. That's really unfortunate. I'd imagine with the contact that Ollie's got and the contact that Tom's got, one of them's probably going to have to peel off into the pits. Right, so we're with Phil now. He's being chased by Manx. Ollie's keeping up. Doesn't look like Ollie's suffering from any kind of performance. He's keeping up with those two quite well. Meanwhile, Tom's dropped all the way down to 14th, so he obviously dived in the pits just now. His times are flying up now, so yeah, he's definitely in the pits. Is Manx going to try and go around the outside there? Oh, they're side by side. I think Manx is through. No, Phil's still got him. Yeah, Manx makes a move up the inside on that corner. Lovely move, that was absolutely stunning. Right, so here we go. Now we've got an update on penalties now. Everyone's got quite a collection. We've got Dan with 23 second penalty. We've got Andy with a 22. Tom's got a 26. Oh, hang on. I thought Ollie was going to make a move up the inside of Phil there. Side by side. Bit of door-to-door contact there. It's one thing that the touring cars are excel at, is a little bit of minor contact here or there. Although this race has had probably a little bit too much contact. Nice move there for Ollie as he comes through. Right, so they're coming down the hill now. Jay's keeping up with him quite well as well. Nothing's really developing at this stage. 9 minutes in already though. Oh, was that Keith gone a little bit wide, or maybe he slowed down for a slowdown there, but he's just been passed by Manx and Ollie. Good racing between these guys here, nice and close. He's not letting Manx get away. Oh, they're so close coming down the hill here. This could easily end in disaster if they're not careful. Oh, here comes Jay making a move on Phil by the looks of it. Phil held it though. Oh, he's gone a little bit wide, and yep, that enables Jay to go straight around the outside. He's now on the hunt for Keith. He's done well though to climb back up to 8th after being all the way at the back. He's going to take Keith around the inside there. So easy to get these corners slightly wrong with the track limits. Okay, so jumping back with Manx and Ollie here. Okay, so while it's all a little bit tame at the moment, nothing's really going on. If we look at the timings, you'll see that with Dan with the 23-second penalty, he's currently in first, but he'd effectively be, where are we looking? We've got 5th, which is Manx, but Manx has also got a 2-second penalty. So yeah, they're literally, Dan and Manx are fighting in 4th on the time screen. Andy's a little bit behind, so he's going to be fighting with Keith at the moment, technically, which effectively puts me in the lead. Oh, we've got a replay here. Looks like Ben's gone wide. I missed that. He's really struggling on that corner on this second race. He slots in behind Keith. Meanwhile, Manx and Ollie are fighting for position again. Ollie gets past. Oh, we've got an action replay. But while all that was going on, something's happened to Dan. What's this? His turn 1, lap 11. Oh, he loses the back end, goes into a full spin, and he's just stopped on the track. That's going to enable Andy to catch up. And yeah, it looks like I'm in frame now as well. Okay, so is Andy going to get past? I would have thought so. Yeah, straight up the inside. Okay, that's just opened the whole thing up a little bit now. Yeah, these guys need to get away with their 20-second penalties. It's really hindering them at this stage. Yeah, so we're looking at about half a second between Andy and Dan. And then there's nearly 2 seconds between me and Andy. Is Dan going to be able to catch Andy though? That's the thing. Is that spin throwing him off a little bit? Dan's doing as usual, the old flash of the lights. So starting lap 12 now. Got about halfway through the race at this stage. Still anybody's game. Coming down the hill. Dan was carrying some serious speed there. He's closing the gap on Andy. Going nuts with the lights flashing. He's halved that gap now. It's down to 0.2. I'm still 2 seconds off of Andy. I'm not gaining on him at all. Andy's managed to make another 0.3 there as well. So he's actually pulling away at this section of the track. Dan was definitely quicker through there. Is he going to be able to make a move at this next corner? I think he might with his slipstream. Going super wide, try and carry as much speed through the first turn as possible. Oh, he's right there. And he does a good job to defend. And they're actually starting to gap me a little bit now, which is mad considering they're battling. It should slow them down. Oh, Dan nearly lost it again then, but manages to hold it. Lost a little bit of time. He's got to make that back up now. Nice tie line there from Dan. before Dan is proper pushing, you can see the car proper jumping there. Little glitch in the video there, I do apologise for that. That goes wide again. Ooh, hard on the brakes. I'm wondering if his tyres are starting to go a bit cold with the temperature changes now. Seeing as it's getting that little bit later, his car does look a little bit looser than it did earlier. Yeah, so while these guys are battling it out, we've got Andy in first, obviously, Dan in second, me in third, then we've got Manx in fourth, Jay in fifth, Ollie in sixth, Keith in seventh, Phil in eighth, Steve in ninth, Ben in 10th, Jackson in 11th, we've got Gary in 12th, Frankie in 13th, and then unfortunately we've got Tom stuck in 14th at the back after his nasty crash earlier. No. And I completely missed the fact that Dan made the move on Andy, and now they're all going nuts with the lights. I was too busy running through the grid. Commentary error. The flashy madness, Dan's completely forgot to put his lights back on, which hopefully won't lead to any collisions with any back markers or anyone that can't see him. Frankie seems to know they're there though and moves out of the way. Come back down the hill now. Is lap 15. Dan's starting to gap Andy now as well. They've both realised that they need to get the hammer down, otherwise Manx and Jay are going to be closing the gap on them and they'll lose position. As it stands, it's extremely tight between the top five. Okay, we're now looking at Phil and Ollie. So Phil's making a move on Ollie into first corner. There's Tom there, obviously though he's not racing for position. He's still trying to unlap himself. Nice close racing between these guys here though, this is good. Ooh, Ollie goes slightly wide, Tom follows him. Well, they're alright, Well, it looks like Ollie's car is down on power. The other two guys are probably pulling away from him there, he's definitely struggling. It's a shame because he started this race so well and he's been performing really well in this championship. And Jackson goes past, yeah, Ollie's almost crawled to a standstill there. He's probably trying to get himself into the pits. And here comes Gary, past him again, so yeah, that moves Ollie down into 12th. But yeah, he's pretty much running no power at all there, so be see if he peels up into the pits here. Yeah, and he goes. Okay, so he's pretty much out now. It's a shame. Okay, so jump into Manx. This is in 4th, so these guys are currently hunting the leaders down because of the time penalties. At the moment, it would effectively, this would be the battle for second. Yeah, with that 14-second gap, what they need to do is not battle each other too much and just focus on getting to the finish. And there's 6 minutes left of the race. The time between them and the front is actually steadily dropping, so steadily increasing, I mean. So yeah, they need to get the hammer down. I think it's a two-way strategy going on here, really. We've got Andy and Dan just trying to get away, and then we've got Manx and Jay trying to just catch up with them, so they end up moving them down the field. And then I'm just kind of sandwiched in the middle, just trying to do my best to not get too many penalties. I am sitting on 7 seconds on top of my time, which puts me extremely close to Manx. So it's all to play for still. 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, Joe's really not fighting for position, I don't think. I think they're literally just trying to get as much time made up as possible. You've also got to bear in mind though that Jay is sitting on a 11-second penalty and Manx is sitting on a 2-second penalty, so looking at the timings up there, you've got 15 seconds on the board. Well, Jay makes a move up the inside of Manx there. He's probably realised that those time penalties he needs to get going, but Manx sitting with a 16-second gap. Oh, and he's gone wide. He lost the back end a little bit there off. Well, that's knocked him down to 18 seconds off the pace. I think that's going to knock him out of contention. Give him the, what does it say on the board there, 2 seconds. Yeah, so he's now running at about 20 seconds. He's just about still in touch. Jamie's roughly 24 seconds off the pace in third. So yeah, he's not quite close enough. Yeah, what they really need is for Dan and Andy to have some kind of moment just to slow them down a little bit. But if everyone carries on as is, then that's not going to be the case. Okay, so we're on lap 19 now, 4 minutes left to go. So tight between these guys. It doesn't look it on track, but when you work out the times, it's so close. Coming back to the last section of the track here. 3 minutes to go. Those times are still, yeah, Manx can still pull it back. Alright, so we're on board with Andy now. I think we've got about 2 laps to go. And they're really pushing. Yeah, Andy's lapping about a second faster than Jay at the moment. And they're really pushing to try and increase that gap. And if we're looking at the times again for Jay, try and work that out for a second. So he's about 27 seconds off the pace. So with Andy's 22, but yeah, so Jay is currently behind Andy on track, and yeah, that'll be the same for Dan. So if things were to finish as is, then that would make I would win, Dan would be second, and then Andy would be third. But we've still got 2 laps left, anything could happen. Oh, Dan's just lost it on that corner, and Andy's now catching him up. Okay, so we're on the last lap now. 0.2 difference coming into the first corner between these two. And there's Jackson up the front in 10th there, so he'll probably move out the way for them at the bottom of the hill. These two are still absolutely going for it. Yeah, they've gapped me by 9 seconds now. Just couldn't keep up with them, they were absolutely on fire, these two. Jackson moves out of the way and lets them through. Okay, last couple of corners coming up now. And he's trying one more time just to distract Dan, hopefully seeing if he makes a mistake in the chicane. Alright, so we've got Dan over the line first, followed very closely by Andy. And Jackson in the background there, but he's obviously in 10th. Then we've got me coming through in 3rd. Rear brakes absolutely screaming as I go across the line there. Then we've got Manx in 4th, Jay in 5th. Should have Keith coming into frame in a second. Here we go, so there's Keith in 6th. Good result for him there. We've got Ben, managed to climb back up to 7th after his shenanigans halfway through the race. And then there's Steve in 8th. He had a fairly quiet one, didn't see much of him this race. And we've got Phil in 9th. Just coming down the back straight now. And then we've got Jackson in 10th, Gary in 11th, Frankie in 12th, Tom in 13th, and then Ollie, who I think retired, in 14th. Okay, so after the time penalties, here's the results for the race. We've got me in 1st, then we've got Andy in 2nd, Dan in 3rd, Manx in 4th, Jay in 5th, Keith in 6th, Ben in 7th, Steve in 8th, Phil in 9th, Jackson in 10th. Then we have Frankie in 11th, Gary in 12th, Tom in 13th, and Ollie in 14th. Okay, so now the race results are in. Let's have a look at the championship standings. So in 1st we've got Dan with 100 points. Then we've got Andy with 86, Ben with 84, me with 70, Jay with 64, Keith with 56, Ollie with 51, Steve also with 51, Phil's got 43, Aircall's got 39, Jackson's got 35, Manx has got 26, Tom's got 20, Engard with 16, Frankie with 13, and Gary with 7. As always, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next week.